We're asking for numbers. We don't count partners any more than we count salvations so that we can wave that around. That's not the point. The point is a healthy movement as it grows knows what's going on with itself, right? And so those partners are really meant to serve the movement. How can we empower all of the first party leadership on every level where we know what we're looking for when it comes to people being involved with first priority, human beings.
Working with the local church to take the hope of Christ to every student in the United States. This is First Priority. Now here are your hosts, Steve Cherrico and Brad Schelling.
Hello everybody, welcome to the First Party Podcast. My name is Brad Schelling, and I'm here with Steve Cherrico once again.
What's up, everybody?
How's it going, Cherrico?
Good, man. Good. You?
I'm doing well. The fall is upon us. Club trainings are happening all over the country. I have 45 kids in Kansas City last weekend.
You're wearing a great shirt, but it's the spring shirt, not the fall shirt. I've got the fall on.
Is it the color?
It is.
This is a spring. Blue is a spring color?
It is a spring color.
Ah. I don't know what to say about that.
Well, you know, we'll get you a green one or an earthy tone one for the fall. Earthy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, like Halloween, not Halloween, Thanksgiving.
Halloween, really? Thanksgiving, fall fests. Come on, man. Keep up.
Orange. All right.
Do y'all see what I'm dealing with here? I'm not working with a lot.
Somebody who doesn't have his head in the ground, that's for sure.
I'm not working with a lot. What do we got going on?
Not a lot.
Announcements? Come on, talk to me. What do we got? Let's go.
Early bird registration for the fall conference,
which I can't wait for.
Over.
It's over.
Early bird registration is.
Dang.
So if you have not registered for fall conference and are planning to attend, now is the time for regular registration. Go to firstparty.club/events and fill out the form, and you can go there. You got a couple options. If you want to come a day early, stay a day late, you can add a hotel room on while you're here in Nashville, and bring your team with you, bring some volunteers with you, whoever you want. We got some great people. Got several new faces on the list already registered. So
there's great golf in Nashville if you're a golfer. Come early, stay late, and go golf. It's going to be beautiful that time of year.
Regular golf? I'm not
both.
sure what you're talking about.
Both,
here.
Yeah, both.
Okay.
We're going to play both.
Oh, you're going to play both.
I will play both those days.
Those are promises I don't think you can keep.
Yes, I can. Come on. I will for sure throw discs that day.
Yeah?
Yep.
I will watch my microphone drop. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
That was awesome.
Well, I'm just going to leave it there.
I hope a few people are watching the vidcast as well.
If we're making promises, I'll head to the game terminal and play bags with somebody.
Oh, will you?
Yeah.
All right.
That's always a good time. Get some free Pac-Man in, free NBA Jam.
I like it.
It's a good time.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. So,
our buddy Jeffrey in Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah.
In the downtown district, they have a place there called 1984.
Yeah.
Which is all of the arcades, pinball, all old that, school. Right? It's right next to Justice's campus, like a mile and a half away.
Really?
It's so cool.
Those are up and coming.
Are they?
A lot of them I'm seeing them all over the place.
This place was a arcade up top and a billiard place downstairs, and it was rocking.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Game terminal's rocking too. It's
fun
here in Nashville.
I've not been there yet.
Oh, yeah.
Like it. Well, some people get to enjoy it during national conference.
Mm-hmm. If you want.
That's
an extra.
Yep.
We're not actually doing that.
Oh, no.
At conference.
Just adding it.
Yeah. If you come a day early, let me know.
Or stay a day late.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sweet.
Got it.
Any other announcements?
Yeah, this is the month of See You at the Pole.
Okay.
So hopefully those of us who are listening to this, part of this, are preparing our students to lead on September 27th.
Yep.
We had a club training the other day and realized that because that club meets on Mondays, that See at the Pole is actually right after their invite week.
Okay.
The way it's set.
Yeah.
So they are going to be able to use invite week and then invite people to come back to that morning time of prayer and worship and just 30 minutes of seeking God together. So they're pretty stoked.
That is fun.
Calendar set tends to serve the club if you just look at it.
So September
27. Wednesday morning.
Generally 30 minutes before school starts.
Generally, as the buses are pulling up.
Yep. So gather some friends, make an announcement, and student-led prayer around the flagpole in front of your school for the school administration, for your teachers, for safety, for the students.
And the Epic Guide has a guide this year in it for See at the Pole.
Yep.
Which is a great resource.
Some QR codes. Yep. Check it out. and the Epic Foundations tab.
Yep.
Sweet. What are we talking about today, Steve?
Man, we have been navigating a discussion for a long time about relationships.
Yep.
Specifically, what does it mean for someone to be a partner?
Yeah.
Are they a partner church? Are they, what are they? And so you and your team, thankfully, put together a document which has taken all of that language we've been circling around in our brains and out loud for a long time and put it into a one-pager.
I like it.
So let's go through that one-pager together. Are you going to stick that one-pager or the hyperlink to it in the notes?
We can put it in the notes.
That would be great.
Get a link to that so you can go check this out. A little bit of history. We've talked local church engaged forever, right? That's our core value. It's what we do as a ministry. It's who we claim to be.
Yep.
But as we started to track that number, right? We track clubs, we track decisions, student leaders, but church partnerships hasn't been a number we've actually tracked.
Yep.
Right?
We've talked about it.
We talk about it.
We've
all the time.
guesstimated it.
But how many churches are we partnered with in things? So we started that in December.
Good.
22. And it brought up conversation. You say our team wrote it. It's like, okay, we're tracking this number. What does it mean to be a partner? Somebody says, hey, we're going to pray for you. Are they a partner? Or do they have to have volunteers? What does this mean? And there's the conversation went for a while. And really the new district staff came up with this document. And what does it look like to partner? And a little bit too, it's not just what does it look like to partner, but how do you build a partnership with First Priority? Because we've all heard the 4 Ps, pray, participate, promote, and provide, right? Those are the things that we want a partner to do. And that's still true. But we're today going to walk through a little bit of, just building a relationship with a church to the point of partnership and even beyond that. So.
Yeah, and you picked on the districts. I'll pick on the chapters just for a minute because the chapters the one have been in discussion for 20 some odd years before a district's laid. And you've got multiple former chapter leaders or directors that are now district directors.
Yeah.
And so you've got this lay of the land of many, many years of discussion. And then you've got the new view from the directors who've only been around for 12 to 18 months going, hey, we've heard your language.
Yeah.
Let's put it into place. So go ahead and jump in.
Well, and the thing I like about that, and I say the new, and I agree with you. We've all been having this conversation, but I feel like this brought it back to just everyday English. It's not all of I don't know that we have a lot of churchy language, but we definitely have First Priority language.
Yeah, we do.
And so it took it out of that First Priority language because there was a bunch of new people walking around saying, hey, well, how do we define a church partnership? And they just put it in language. So, which the first one is to connect. Right? State the obvious. How do you build a partnership with a local church? You meet with them.
You have a meeting. You walk up and shake their hand.
How much more simple can you get than
exactly
connect with somebody and have a meeting, make contact, whether it's a phone call, swinging by the office. It's stuff we've talked about for 25 years that if you want to connect and have a partnership with a church, you actually have to go to the church.
Well, and our team talked about this yesterday in our L10/team meeting that we have each week. And one of the things that we said that I say to our guys over and over again is we're not posting.
Yeah.
I'm not just hitting them with an email. I'm not just showing up and leaving a card.
Yeah.
I'm not really connected until I'm interacting.
Yeah.
Right. There's got to be some sort of response. Even the response is, I don't think I'm you.
Yeah.
And I don't think I want to do anything with you. Well, at that point, at least we're connected and we know who we are.
Yeah.
And you might find that you are wanting to be connected even if you're not me, because I may provide something that you don't currently have.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a connection to me is a conversation.
It is. And the document talks about understanding, like the church leader or the parent or the elder or whoever you're talking to understands First Priority. You get to understand the church and have that kindred spirit, that mutual agreement that, hey, we are brothers and sisters in Christ.
Yep.
Because we are unapologetically a missional community.
We are.
Right. And not all churches, good, bad, or otherwise, whatever it is, aren't all missional communities. Some of them are more fellowship or worship, or I always go through the purpose-driven church thing that, discipleship, they focus more on different parts and aspects of Christianity. And we're not all of those other things. We are very missional. And so do we connect? And it's not just lunch, but it's also on a spiritual level.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Which leads us to the next part of a church partner, which is, are they engaged?
Are they engaged? Is there constructive movement towards partnership? So we're both missional. We both want to see students come to know Jesus. And let's begin engaging each other in that conversation. What does it look like for First Priority and the church to walk together into the school and go form a lighthouse in a classroom somewhere?
Yeah, when you say the church, one of the things that we talk about is the church participating, right?
Yeah.
When you have to then break it down that the church is people, not a building, not an organization, right? Mm-hmm. How is the church participating? Do they have a teacher who goes to church there who has said, oh my goodness, I'm going to be that faculty sponsor, right? Well, then the church is engaged.
That's right.
They're participating.
That's right.
Do they have a group of students, even if they've never done a training inside their youth group on a Wednesday night, right? Which happens a lot.
It does.
But they've been to the club and they've participated in the training on the club level and they're from such and such. Well, that church is engaged. It's the people that are engaged. And so they're participating in the actual movement.
That's right. And you're seeing that engagement happen. Obviously, it's cool if the church takes it as far as saying, hey, we're going to commission our students on a Sunday morning. There's 5 student leaders that are going into their school, their mission field, and being a missionary, right? Use that language so people kind of get that concept of, hey, I'm not going to India. I'm going to the school. It's both of them are mission fields. Both of them, if you look at stats, are
needing the gospel. Group. Needing the gospel.
And
You're right.
Commission those students, participate in that way. And see if there is constructive movement. I will say to our first priority folk as well, if there seems to be a kindred spirit, but you're not getting that engagement, there are some things that you can offer to the church to help flame that fire or whatever.
Fan that flame. There you go.
Thank you.
You were on the right track.
That was the most help you've given to me all year.
You're welcome. Keep going.
To fan that flame is to teach the students, offer to, hey, you mentioned youth group. They haven't all been trained, but we could train them about what is their Christian testimony. What is their witness? Many students who have attended church haven't done that. They haven't brought clarity. Writing brings clarity to what their story is. And so offer that to the church to say, hey, we could fan this flame. You're not getting a lot of interest. You're interested, youth pastor, or you're interested, parent, but these kids don't see it, or the youth pastor doesn't see it, or somebody else doesn't see it. Offer to go into that church and to fan that flame by training students how to share their story and training students how to share God's story. Because again, we train students at the beginning of the school year how to do the epic cycle, how to do first priority, but also what is the gospel, because just because you're a church kid doesn't mean you're following Jesus. So we can train you on God's story and on their story, and maybe there's some more constructive movement, some flames that have been fanned to start some clubs.
So, defining, let's go back through it, right? A church partner is connected.
They're connected.
A church partner is engaged.
They are.
And then a church partner is?
Partnered.
Partnered. Walk through that, because you're using the word in the definition, so walk us through it.
Well, this is where, clubs are starting.
There you go.
Tangible gospel movement is happening in a school where it's not just a conversation anymore. It's not just idea. It's not even training, but it is actually students. The words of Jesus are coming out of the mouths of students, right? Again, many church kids, me growing up, the words of Jesus didn't come out of my mouth because nobody ever asked me to. They asked me to come to youth group. They asked me to come to church. But they never told me to go and speak the name of Jesus. Yeah, that's in Bible verses, but I'll get off my soapbox and say, yeah, these students are starting clubs, whether it's a teacher sponsor from your church or the club coach is there or you're commissioning students, whatever that looks like, you are partnering with a first priority club and promoting that in the ranks of whether it's on a student ministry level, the whole church level, on a gospel mission field level, or all three. That's moving forward. Yeah, and you took what I was going to say, which is good. The beauty of thanks. The beauty of partnered is that it could be as grand for us as the senior pastor standing on and taking pulpit time and saying, Yeah.
Our students are missionaries on campus. Here's where it's going on. You need to be praying for them, right? That's a grand moment for us as a partnered organization to a local church.
It is.
But just as grand as a group of students who come into Wednesday night and they can't stop talking about what's going on with First Priority in their club and what God is doing on their campus because the club is active and alive and vibrant and engaged, right?
Yeah.
So the partnered moment is really, it's got great traction on both sides of the wheel.
Yep. And there's a level deeper too. And what you just said made me think about my experience as a campus coach. I was all in, obviously. I wouldn't be sitting here 15 years later if I wasn't all in
correct.
as a youth pastor, coaching at different schools through the years, encouraging my students to go be club leaders wherever they are. I had 16 different schools represented in my youth ministry. So I couldn't be everywhere, but I could encourage my students to go participate in that club with, well, Steve happened to be the guy down the road and wherever that might be. But we never got to the point of where First Priority was adopted by the church, which is the last thing that we talk about. That, hey, we saw students, and again, this whole line of thinking, being adopted makes me think of South Tampa Fellowship, where they have students coming to know Jesus. They're bought in. Their ministry is around it. Their kids are engaged in it. Their youth pastors have ownership of it. And they see students come back to their church, get baptized. Families begin to join their church because there's something that's different in their teenager and they want to know what that is. And the whole church just adopts this to say, hey, this is us. This is who we are. We are missional. South Tampa is a great example anyway, because they are missional. They love to be part of the community, whatever level they are in. And First Priority just happens to be that legacy in the student evangelism spoke of their wheel. That's, hey, this is the legacy we're leaving.
So connected, engage, partnered, and adopted.
Yep.
And then repeat.
As a staff member, that is the process to get. Obviously, adopted isn't a 3-month process.
No, correct.
That's a 3-year or more process, right? But just to continue to do that. This sheet that's attached, you and I have said this to each other and even to our staff. This is a little bit more of an internal staff sheet. It's not something that you're going to go lay in front of a pastor to say, hey, right now we're connecting, but pretty soon I want you to engage me on this.
Correct.
It's not something it's not your sales pitch.
Correct.
I think the P's still are that. We want pray, participate, promote, provide. That's, a good ask for the church leaders that are out there. But this is a sheet that's helped our staff bring clarity to that third point. What does it mean to partner? When Brad and Steve ask for that number of churches partnered with us, they're actively participating. They're part of the clubs, and they're right there with us.
When your 3 are Brad, Steve, Shane. When those 3 ask for that number, that's really what you're in. So I have kind of a final thought on the whole partnership thing, which is we're asking for numbers. We don't count partners any more than we count salvations so that we can wave that around. That's not the point. The point is a healthy organization as it grows, a healthy movement. Let's even remove organization. A healthy movement as it grows knows what's going on with itself. Right. And so those partners are really meant to serve the movement, not so that you can wave them around. And so if you look at this document and you think, oh gosh, this is just another way that people are counting things, that's really not the point. The point was, how can we empower all of the First Priority leadership on every level with united language where we know what we're looking for when it comes to people being involved with First Priority, human beings, which make up the local church. And so this document is a great summation where, as you said, the language we use when we have an ask with the P's is in there. But it gives us a great summation of, oh, now I can see. One of the guys who is not one of my district guys, but is in a new district, right? He and I were talking the other day about something else, and he said, okay, how do I define a partner? I said, well, open that back up.
That's right.
When you get them too engaged, you've now got a partner, and now you know how you have to work them down the system.
That's right.
Right? It was super easy to say, you don't need me to define that. It's now defined for you, which is healthy for his organization to know that.
Well, it's healthy for us as an organization too. Again, we've trained people for 25 years to go partner with the local church.
Yep.
But we've never written it down on a piece of paper before and said, this is what it is.
Yep.
And so we want it to be repeatable. We don't want it to take another 25 years to start another 900 schools, right? We want to start 900 schools in a year eventually.
Yep.
And so in order to do that, we need to have these things written down and to say, here's what you do. Go repeat that. It's been done already.
Yep.
We'd love to have 2 churches around every school or whatever that number is in your area.
Yep.
And wake up every day thinking about this.
Well, this is one of those, for those of you who do listen on a regular basis. Boy, that came through strong. Sorry about that. This is one of those that those of you who are on this on a regular basis, it's probably a good idea for you to look at the document and then give us some feedback on the pod bean or podcast, wherever you are listening, watching. It would be a good idea for you to hit us back a little bit, because there's probably some comments in here and some things. And we've gotten some as we created the document, right? Where it's like, hey, I see that this way. That's great.
Yep.
It's great that you do. Does it stay within those lines? If it does, great, go for it, right? If it doesn't, let's talk it through on why it doesn't.
Right.
Because this document's been a living document in people's heads for 25 years. Now it's on a piece of paper. It's still a living document.
I agree. Cool. Good conversation, Steve.
Well done, Brad. Thanks for hitting record. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you as well. A little office humor there for us.
Thank you.
That will go left unsaid.
Yep.
So to our listening audience, thanks for being a part of First Priority. Thanks for partnering with the local church and building the kingdom of God on earth as it is in heaven. Until next week.
Till next week. See you.
Later.